Hi, my name is Khloe Kemp. I'm 14 years old and I'm in the 8th grade, and this is my science fair project, The Power of Suggestion. On this first slide here, you can see I have my abstract, safety, and endorsement sheet. So on my abstract sheet, it basically just goes over my purpose and hypothesis and why I'm doing this test. And basically why I'm just researching it. And for my safety sheet, it just goes over how I would comfort people and how I would just reassure people that what I'm doing is what I'm doing and what my project is, and just make sure that they're safe and comfortable while doing this test. For my next slide, I have my purpose and hypothesis. The purpose of my experiment is to discover if the use and power of suggestion can manipulate a person's mind into believing and choosing what is being suggested. And then for my hypothesis, my hypothesis is that a person's mind can be tricked and manipulated into believing a certain thing using the power of suggestion, specifically by using a subliminal message to trick a person into choosing a certain color, picture, or etc. So my next slide just goes into my materials and procedure. So my materials that I used were a computer, different colored pencils, headphones, pencil and paper to track data, and 11 test subjects. For my procedure, it was all participants will sit at a table or desk, and in front of them there will be a laptop and headphones with different colored pencils in front of it. After instructing them on what to do, which was put the headphones on that have music playing and a quieter track repeating, pick the blue color pencil under it, and I will play those at the same time using 2 tabs. Then I will ask them to pick whatever color pencil they want, and then based on what color they chose and what was playing under the track, that's how I would take my data. So on my next slide here, I have my graphs and my data. So on this pie chart here, I basically just separated everything into what colors they chose. So about 9% of my 11 test subjects chose red, some chose green, some chose purple, and then next was a pink, and that was really popular amongst them. But what took over a landslide, which was about 55% of my people, was blue, which was the correct answer. As I said, I had pick the blue colored pencil track underlaying under the other track, under the music they were listening to. So in my next 2 charts, these two, basically, these were graded strictly on whether or not they chose blue or if they chose a different color. So if they did choose blue, they would have gotten 100, but if they didn't, they would have got 0. So on my percent correct without music, also just want to clarify that by without music, I mean without the subliminal message. So they were listening to music, but they did not have a subliminal message playing the first test. So as you can see here, only 3 people out of my 11 test subjects had gotten the blue at first. But once you get here, you can kind of see that it was about 0.5%, so maybe 3-4 more people. I think it was 4 that took over and that did choose blue after the subliminal message. And I think that's kind of interesting, thinking how it's all the same people, but you can just see that it's gone up a bunch. You can see test subject 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, and here they weren't there at first. So I think that's very interesting. So in my last slide, I have my conclusion. In conclusion, subliminal messaging does work. Based on my research and results, you can see that there has been a change from before and after listening to subliminal messaging. In my results, at the start, not many people, specifically only 3, had chosen blue. But at the end, that number increased by half, showing a difference. In my conclusion, my hypothesis was correct. If I could do anything differently about this test, I would try to test more people to get more accurate results. To go into that a little bit more, I think that if I tested more people, I could see this on a wider spreadsheet. And I can kind of see why this was happening, where it just only works with a certain group of people. This happened to a certain gender, certain people who have gone through this thing or whatever. And I would try to go into more depth with my subliminal messaging, so I wouldn't really go into more. I wouldn't just stay at that kind of surface level with colors. I would want to go more into I would try to go more into the YouTube section of it, which is more subliminal messaging on changing your face shape, changing your eye color, whatever. And I would see if that really not even tricks actually does anything to their face, but really tricks their mind into believing that. And I think that would be a very cool another experiment for me. So my name is Khloe Kemp, and this is my project, The Power of Suggestion. Thank you so much for listening. Have a good day.